So I feel so bad, but my girlfriend called me and her boyfriend just gave her the, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And when I tell you this could not be a worse time for her.
Is it ever a good time to break up, though?
This is an exceptional circumstance.
Okay.
First of all, my girlfriend lives in Houston.
Oh.
And her parents' house was just like crazy flooded.
Oh, that sucks.
So they've been spending the last few days like trying to get all the photos out of there and things, up to the second level dried out, So she's helping her family and gets a text message.
Oh, breaks up through text. That's a Maney move.
And well, he doesn't live in
What?
That is very you. You think that's okay.
I would call. I don't know if I would text.
No,
but
you've said before. I remember. I can
Yeah.
pinpoint. I don't know when,
Yeah,
but you said it's okay, but you don't owe that person anything because you're breaking up with them.
how am I taking shrapnel in this? I'm dying to hear this story.
And then I throw you right underneath
Yeah.
the bus.
Right. And I'm
Okay,
already
fine.
a little irritated with the situation, Maney.
But I don't agree with the timing here.
No, the timing is terrible. And he literally just texted her and was like, hey, I need some time.
But to his defense, there is major flooding going on in Houston. He probably couldn't get over there to do it face to face. I mean, she is busy doing something else.
Still, you can wait. Or you can come and help.
Well, he ain't helping. He wants to break up with her.
So he dumped her during the flood.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Let me get in a room with this dude.
Can you imagine though, like if Sprint their towers are down and that's like the last text message sent by anyone in
my
Houston?
God.
You know what I
Aw.
mean? Like seriously, dude, don't waste the.
Well, luckily, like they still have power,
Yeah.
and you know what I mean. Like it's terrible timing because their family's going through so much.
Sure.
But I mean, I guess he thought like, oh, you guys are okay. Let me do this now.
I've been dumped in bad places. I've been dumped in the parking lot of a Wendy's. And by the way, if you've ever been dumped at a bad time, give us a phone call at 704-570-9595. But I remember going to Wendy's, and we got
Wait a minute.
What?
You're going to compare the flood to you
I
going
know,
to Wendy's?
right?
Like, Roy's like, I was
not
about to
comparing.
take a bite out of my double bacon burger.
I'm not comparing. I'm
She
just
dumped
sharing.
me.
I'm not
Okay,
comparing.
all right.
I'm
right,
not saying
judge-
mine's worse than hers.
Hey, judgment-free zone.
Yeah. Easy over there, you text dumper. All right? You have nothing to talk of.
He's trying to bring you down
Yeah.
with him.
At least my dumping occurred in person. Okay?
Okay, so you're in the Wendy's parking lot.
Yeah, so I'm in the Wendy's parking lot, and we get and it was all pre-planned. We get a Frosty and a large fry, because you dip the fries in the Frosty.
Of course.
And I got a big enough batch for us to share, and then we pull up in a parking spot, and she just breaks up with me. And our friend pulls up, and she hops in with her friend. So it was already like orchestrated that our friend was going to pick her up in the Wendy's parking lot.
Pre-planned.
Meanwhile, I was like, I wouldn't have bought that big of a Wendy's Frosty.
I feel like that was pre-planned too. That or she was just upset that you guys were sharing. You should have got her her
Yeah.
own.
Clearly.
Hey, good morning. Who's this?
Ashley.
Hi, Ashley. You're live on the radio, and you just heard Loren's friend got dumped during the floods in Houston. I mean, there really couldn't be a worse time. When did you get dumped at a bad time, Ashley?
Well, I got dumped right when my dad was getting sick and he passed away.
Oh, my
While
God.
he was in the hospital, yes. Which kind of, helped me out because at least I knew where we stood.
Like, my girlfriend and her boyfriend, they hadn't been dating that long, and they were bickering a little bit. So, like, leading up to this person dumping you, did you kind of see it coming, or were you totally blindsided by it?
I was blindsided. I mean, he was in the hospital, he was sick, and, they induced him and everything. I was I was giving him updates and everything, and all of a sudden, he was like, done. He was like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. He's not a guy that could, be there emotionally, and he's not a person that listens to someone cry and stuff like that. So he couldn't deal with it, so he just let me go.
How long were you together, Ashley?
2 years.
That's a long time to
It's
just
awful.
have that epiphany and be like, yeah, I'm just not an emotional person. I can't deal with this.
This is Kenzie and Charlotte. Welcome to the Maney Roy and the Ram Morning Show.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's the worst time to get dumped?
It happened the day after my grandma died, and my grandma was my best friend in the entire world. It was like the most devastating moment in my entire life. And then like the day after, I got broken up with.
What was the reason? I mean, and you must have said, like, really, you're doing this to me now?
He really never gave me a reason. So
What?
he's just a jerk. But we were dating for like a year and a half, and then the next thing I know, my grandma dies, and he's like, "Yeah, I just can't do this anymore." And then I never heard from him again. Nor did I really want to hear from him again, honestly. So,
Sure.
Yeah.
But gosh,
Sorry to
you know,
hear that, Kinsey.
after a year and a half, it's like I need an explanation. After
Right.
that much time.
Mm.
Yeah, but even this text message is, I just need time. Like, I need space. I need time. That's not an excuse either.
Yeah. Like, what went wrong? This is Julia and Charlotte. Welcome to the Maney, Roy, and Lorraine Morning Show.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, Julia. Okay, terrible time that you got dumped. What happened?
I had just lost my job. My mom was in the hospital, and then my grandma died.
Oh,
And it's like you're the one dealing with everything, but your significant other's like, I got to get out of this.
Yeah, and it was after like almost a year. It was a couple days before a year.
you know, it's one of those things too where later on
Thanks,
down
Julia.
the road you go, God, I was so much better without that person, like
Sure.
so much better off. But when it's happening to you,
And hats off to everyone who we heard from, and including your friend, Loren, for getting through it on
I
top
know.
of everything.
well, I don't know that she's through it yet, but
Well, and once everything settles down, she'll have to
takes time.
realize.
you know what? You know what I told her? I'm like, you have something to focus on right now, so this might have been a blessing in disguise, but he's still a jerk regardless.